changes as fast as coronavirus spreads. If the coronavirus pandemic spreads more than several months, the World Travel and Tourism Council, that's a trade that representing major global travel companies, projects global loss 75 jobs and to $1 trillion in revenue. Losses come daily as 2nd of April, British Airways is reportedly poised to suspend 36,000 staffers. Gloria Guevara is the CEO of WTTC, is lobbying government to offer supports to travel companies, saying these potential job losses are bringing real and probable worry to millions of families around the world. America's travel industry is among the hardest hit. The U.S. Travel Association projects loss of 4.6 million jobs. U.S. weekly jobless claims skyrocketed to a standing of 6.6 million, doubling in a week, and by far the biggest spike in half century. Tourism decline is a driving reason for job losses in states including Nevada, where Las Vegas and casino cost dark. President Donald Trump extended national limits on travel, work, and gatherings of more than 10 people for at least another month and perhaps into June. Summer vacations could be on hold. This is the worst time. This is the worst time of the year for this to happen, said Isabel Hill, as the director of the Commerce Department's National Tourism Office. The impact of travel is 6 or 7 times greater than 1911, said Roger Dow, as president of CEO of the U.S. Travel Association, which encourages travel within the country and to industry that generates 26 million in economic output and supports 15.8 million jobs in the U.S. With so much at stake, Congress passed a $2 trillion stimulus that couldn't have come at a more urgent time. Focus is to help those unemployed and to support small and big business, but questions remain. Will the application be enough as the company slides into vacations, and what does it mean for the travelers not saving for a rainy day? Much of the tourism industry will its financial strategy around a travel-free future, planning for eternal blue skies of borders.
On average, international carriers, including Delta and United Airlines, had less than 2 months of cash on hand to cover expenses before the coronavirus hit. According to the International Air Transport Association (IATA), in contrast, Apple has enough cash to cover 6 years of expenses. With much of its fleet grounded and the airline's projected revenue losses could climb to more than 250 billion US dollar. That's at least twice than 113 billion US dollar in losses the IATA predicted 3 weeks ago before countries started shutting down the borders. Airlines for America (AAA), the trade group representing American and JetBlue among others, as well as UPS and FedEx, say its member companies will lose 87 billion US dollar revenue this year and have already begun borrowing. Airlines could benefit from several provisions of the stimulus, 425 billion US dollars from the Federal Reserve for distressed industries, 75 million in loan and 25 billion in direct grant, with the government taking in stake in the companies. Much of the money in conditional is can be used for corporations to buy back stock, a practice that led many companies to be short of cash. The bailout come on the heel of the 100 million US dollar bill Congress passed weeks before, which provide increased unemployment insurance, paid sick leave, extended food assistance, and free testing for the virus. This package is important that we want recovery to speed up, say those. Most of the travel industries consist of small mom and pop business. With the small business loans, we can help to keep their doors open. The emergency small business loans will be available through June and would be forgiven in companies have to keep their employees on the payroll. And here I have the percentage uh, about the hotel. Example, luxury, minus 13%, upper upscale, minus 15%, upscale, minus 12%, upper mid-tier, minus 9%, mid-tier, minus 8%, and economy minus 8%. The lodging sector, which has suffered as much as transport, within companies such as Marriott losing as much as 75% in revenue, is also a big recipient of the bailout. Hotels and restaurants can benefit from 350 billion US dollar lending program for small business and from a small adjustment to a federal tax law that could save them as much as 15 billion US dollar.
Cruise industry at sea, but cruise companies face an uphill battle to recover. Cruise have become beleaguered poster children of the pandemic as news stories chronicles the plight of ships carrying infected passengers. At press time, Holland America's Zaandam and Rotterdam ships were finally granted permission to disembark at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, after the Coast Guard balked at allowing them to dock on March 8. The Center of Disease Control and the State Department told America to stop taking cruise and published a detailed explanation why those ships increase virus risk and impact. The effect on their cruise business has been swift. Companies have lost 750 million US dollar in revenue since January, according to reports. Share of the big fish, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian, have dropped by 60 to 74%. Further losses will mount, and it's likely that sailing will be postponed at least until July or August. Unlike airlines, cruise companies are not eligible for the 500 billion in aid because they don't count as American enterprises. Major companies locate their primary headquarters overseas with ship flagged and incorporated in other nations. This means they pay most no federal taxes and avoid many United States regulations. The cruising industry faces more hurdles in the future. Government may have increased interest in illness reporting and sanitation infections, which mean more regulations, says Ross Klein, a Canadian academic at the Memorial University, Newfoundland. Exciting things to come, but there is a glimmer of hope. China, where the pandemic began, offers a glimpse in the future. Now that the pandemic is reportedly under control, there are restrictions are being lifted. There are early signs of recovery. Hotel booking in China have been increased by 50% the first week in March, according to Bloomberg, while peak daily flight rose to 230% from the previous albeit disastrous month. Anshory, CEO of Marriott, says he's seen initial improvement in his company's properties in China. China's domestic tourism market is gigantic and supports 5 billion trips a year. In several surveys in the domestic industry says it's planning for a recovery of 70% over the next 6 months, according to Dr. Wolfgang George Art, directed to the China Outbound Tourism Research Institute, but the recovery largely rests on domestic tourism, with China severely limiting foreign visitors ensure the virus doesn't resurface. The United States, the new epicenter of the pandemic, is not following China's trajectory, so the comparison may be more hopeful than realistic. Still, the United States Travel Association, though, remain optimistic. Over the long term, we will return and come back to the business as usual. He predicts people have short memories and there will be pent-up desire to travel. Economists, though, are warning that few industries, let alone travel, will return to normal anytime soon. Okay, maybe that's all from us. Thank you for watching and see you.